A great week of high school football, and we are closing in on the state playoffs, and we actually have quite a bit of shakeup in our Super 10 rankings this week. Couple new teams. Suwannee Bulldogs out in Live Oak. They are 5-0. They're at Taylor County last week with a big win. And Suwannee into the rankings, but they have got a tough stretch coming up. They have Santa Fe this week, and then the real games begin. Start with Madison County on Friday the 13th. So Suwannee Bulldogs in at number 10 for the first time this season. Creekside, I should have had Creekside in last week. The schedule they played, the big win over Mandarin a couple weeks ago, they validated that last week with a 38-20 win over previous number 10 Oakleaf. They have been getting it done. The defense on Creekside, they have started to click, and you like to see that after that tough start. Offense has never been a problem. So Sean McIntyre and the Knights, you see 3-3, but man, they have played some tough teams. Great to see them finally getting on that winning track. Reigns, they're at number 8, big win over Riverside last week, a walk-off win, 26-24, over Tyron Randolph touchdown with no time left. They have got First Coast this week. They're sitting pretty good at 4-1. Trinity Christian, they slide down a spot. Overtime win over Rockledge last week, 19-13. They've got Riverside this week trying to get that consistency going back on offense. Ponte Vedra keep moving on up. Big win. Ponte Vedra's only lost Bartram Trail in week 1. 3-point game. They went down to Flagler Palm Coast last week, won 31-0 in a big District 4-4S game. Pretty much gave them that inside leg on that district championship. So the Sharks feeling good. Up into the top 5. Bowles continues to get things done. They won their 3rd straight game. Beat Episcopal 48-21 last week. That's after 3 losses to start the season, but they are clicking. They go to Columbia. Lake City, always a tough place to play, even though they're having a difficult season. So Bowles feeling pretty good. Mandarin, 2 losses in a row for Mandarin. Our previous number 1 team, but they have lost games to Creekside. They went down to Lake Mary last week. Lost 34-16. Disappointing game for them. Had 5 turnovers in that game. They've been struggling with turnovers these last couple games, so they can see if they get back on track. I think they do. They play Westside this week. They won't have a really tough game until week 11 against Bartram Trail. Bartram Trail, big win last week over Fleming Island, 48-20. They've got a tough one this week. IMG Academy coming up to St. John's on Friday night. IMG, a national powerhouse. They're playing Bartram Trail. I don't expect Bartram to win that game, but it'd be great competition for the Bears and Coach Corey Johns. Number 2, Bradford. They've been here at number 2 for a couple weeks. They actually started at number 2 to begin the season. 48-6 last week over Keystone Heights. That defense is just phenomenal. They go to Oakleaf this week. That's going to be a great game. See if Oakleaf can get back on track and a good step up in competition for Bradford's defense. And number 1, no surprise, the St. Augustine Yellow Jackets for the 2nd week in a row. They went down and rocked Matanzas last week, 49-9. They visit 4-2 Nice on Friday night in a St. Johns County showdown. They've won the last 3 games behind backup quarterback Dylan Cook. He is playing good. Got just an embarrassment of riches at receiver. St. Augustine validating that hype. They are number 1 for the 2nd week in a row. Now is a good time to remind you that our Football Friday game of the week is coming up. We've got a good Gateway Conference clash this week. Ed White going to the beach to take on Fletcher. That is going to be a good one. Both those teams doing good. Fletcher 4-2 after a difficult start. They've won 4 in a row, so we'll see if the Senators can stay hot. Ed White still battling for a playoff spot as well, so it should be a good one. Coverage starts at 5 o'clock and pregame hits on Friday night. Kickoff, you can watch that at 6:30 on News4JAX.com.